Hi everyone, it's Chris here. I'm going to be your instructor for Hydrology, Geog3400 for this fall term. It is a strange time. We have some uncertainties. We've had a number of messages over what to do, how the class is going to be delivered. And you know what, I just put an email together, a long email, once I'd finished it. And I was just about to hit send and I thought, you know what, maybe a good way to deliver this is as in-person as it possibly can be. So I put this quick video together, and what I'm going to do now is just read the content of my email. I will send it to you as well, so you've got a written record, but hopefully this is another way that I can try to get the important messages across. So here we go. We're all facing some uncertainty over class delivery modality options, in-person versus online. The fourth wave of COVID-19 and mixed messaging at various levels of leadership over what is required has been confusing, and it has been stressful for everyone. And I know it has been especially stressful for students. We all need to understand that we each have different perspectives, different values, different challenges when it comes to what we think are the best approaches to these kinds of challenges. It's not easy. In my first message to you on August 31st, I outlined some of my personal challenges as related to in-person delivery. Now, of course, August 31st already seems like a different age, a long time ago, with everything that's happened since then. Many of us expected, for example, that when Minister Shandro on Friday urged working from home, where feasible, that this would translate into moving classes online. This was not the case, and we are still expected to teach at least 50% course content in person. However, we will naturally accommodate anyone that does not wish to come to class in person. So while this does present some challenges and inconveniences, I'd like to outline for you in a minute my plan for the class. And I hope you will bear with me throughout the semester as we experiment to make this work. But first of all, I would like to thank those of you that have thus far responded to the short online survey I sent round. Thank you very much. That was very useful. It's clear that from those perspectives shared so far, there are widely divergent perspectives and feelings and emotions. And, honestly, that's expected, and all feelings are equally valid. And of course, most of this relates to in-person class attendance. Now, one result that I will share that I think is quite relevant is that the most common feeling that was shared in the survey about returning to on-campus in-person classes is one of apprehension. And I share that feeling. Meanwhile, most of us are also excited. And again, I certainly am. We all want to be together for a more traditional learning experience. So on the one hand, a lot of apprehension, but also a lot of excitement. A lot of interesting stuff going on in there, right? Anyway, so feelings and perspectives are personal, divergent, and they can be a poor basis upon which to make group decisions, but it was very important and valuable for me to learn that some members of this class also have vulnerable family members or dependents, and that they might have a heavier burden of responsibility than other members in the class. Such responsibilities motivate many of us, for example, to adopt the precautionary principle. Now, if you don't know what that is, go Google it. But for many of us, what it means is that given that the risks might be indeterminate, but the consequences are known to be high, then we might have a tendency to be a little bit, more towards caution. Anyway, back to the survey. If you haven't filled in the survey already, and I know most of you have, please do so, because any kind of data that helps us make decisions and learn is useful. Now, okay, so I've got a few bullet points here. This is my plan, as of right now, for how I think we're going to handle things. Some of this repeats what's in my course outline, which I've also sent to you, but hopefully this will try and reinforce some of the important elements. So, number one, unless told otherwise, I will hold a class in our room W565 as scheduled on Wednesday. However, I will also host a Zoom meeting from within the classroom for those wishing to attend from elsewhere. The classroom is not set up for this, so I'll have to work out how to make this work. I do expect it will take some time and be less than ideal, to be perfectly frank. But let's try this for the first lecture, and I will adapt after that to see what works best. And importantly, after feedback from you. Now, if you're indifferent about in-person versus online, and from the feedback, I know some of you are fairly indifferent, or if you have reservations about coming onto campus, then I do urge you to attend via Zoom. Number 2, in the first lecture, I will not dive deeply into the course content as I normally would. We will discuss the overall course learning objectives and evaluation criteria, and the delivery modality options and preferences given the current uncertain circumstances. I do want your feedback, and within reason, I'd like to be responsive to your needs so we can all get the most out of this course. My goal is that no one feel disadvantaged by modality or external circumstances. Number 3, we will lean heavily on Moodle to share lecture slides and my notes, lab assignments, readings, and other forms of media. Number 4, it is useful, if it becomes useful, I might share my recorded Zoom lectures from last fall when we were fully online. We had no choice for in-person. I think they worked out reasonably well. It was even experimental then. But anyway, I have those resources and I can share them. But they won't match this year's content exactly, and I will need to remove some of the discussion elements where other students are sharing their views. So that will require some editing and some time, but I might make those available to the class if it's desired, or if I think it's going to solve some problems for us. Number 5. I have changed the course evaluation to remove participation as a gradable component. Obviously, I want you all to be active participants in this class, one way or another, as this aids learning and makes for a more engaging experience for all of us. However, given the uncertainties over delivery quality and capability and people's availability to attend in person or online, given a wide range of uncertainties, I felt it prudent to remove this component, and have therefore increased the weightings for labs to make it up to 100%. Note the test is also of a smaller weight for this semester than in previous years. And again, that is because that test is scheduled to occur just after reading week, and we don't really know what the conditions are going to be like at that time. So I thought it would be just easier to not put too much of the course weight on that one component. Okay, number 6, labs are a critical element of this course. Traditionally, we used to hold the first of our labs out at the West Castle Field Station. This will not now be possible. I just think it requires people to carpool. There's a lot of mixing within the field station, and just logistically, I don't think it's prudent to do that because I don't know what the conditions are going to be like in a couple of weeks from now. So let's nip it in the bud and just say, well, that's not going to happen. I'm going to come up with an alternative, and I'll let you know what that is. But what it does mean is we won't have a lab this Friday in the first week of class, and so just stand by for information on that. Number 7, based on what we learned in the first lecture this Wednesday, and generally seeing how smoothly everything works on campus this week, I will make a decision regarding in-person versus Zoom lectures. So we're going to discuss that on Monday. I want to get people's thoughts on that. Okay, so that's my 7-point plan for now, and we'll just have to see how things go. Hopefully we can implement that. Now, my priorities in delivering a quite quality hydrology class learning experience are in this order. Number 1, the health and safety of everyone involved. Number 2, that to the best of my ability, no one is systematically disadvantaged relative to their peers as a result of teaching modality. Number 3, regardless of the modality, we try to identify opportunities for and undertake group discussion to reinforce the concepts at the core of this course and discipline. Number 4, we exploit opportunities to link principles of hydrology learning class to real environments and events around us. Number 5, we cover all the basic hydrological principles and applications that have been listed in the course outline. Okay, so what all this means, those are the 5 priorities, and that's the order of priorities, is that you might think it's a little bit interesting that the last of those priorities is that we cover all of the syllabus, basically. Well, what I'm saying is I think health and safety is more important than covering every little detail in the syllabus, and I hope you agree with me. So anyway, that's my list of priorities. Now, okay, I have taught hydrology and been an active researcher in this field for many years. I do have my own way of teaching, maybe not that unique or esoteric, but I feel it's worked reasonably well in the classroom, and I think it worked reasonably well online last year. But of course, in both of those circumstances, I had a lot of time to prepare for, either in class or online, and these are situations that even if they're new, if you've got a lot of time to prep, you can make it work. However, right now we're dealing with a unique set of circumstances where we're kind of in this grey zone between the two, and a lot of apprehension one way or another. And honestly, I don't have all the answers over how best to do this. I think many of us are scrambling and dealing with these uncertainties. So I am therefore keen to gain your feedback on what you think will work for you, or what you think will work for the group. I mean, any perspectives, I really value that. It will help me immensely. I would also like to know how many are likely to attend in person versus online this Wednesday. I will be honest with you and say I will feel more comfortable with fewer people in the classroom, as I believe that will be easier to handle and will be all round safer. I do recognize, however, that this may not be possible or desirable for some, and honestly, I hold no prejudice one way or another. Either way, I want to see your happy faces, masked or otherwise. I know this is a really confusing time. We're all in this together. We're all trying to make it work. So, with warmth and compassion, I really look forward to seeing you all on Wednesday. See you soon.